Coming up on KOTA Territory News at 5:30, President Donald Trump's bronze statue will finally get its permanent home in the City of Presidents. Plus, Senator Mike Rounds endorses the Trump administration's plan to investigate the business practices of meatpacking corporations. And local agencies outline the steps they're taking to prepare for potentially dangerous winter weather. Your news starts now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Hannah Hutter. Heavy snow may be on its way to KOTA Territory this winter, according to the National Weather Service. Today, NWS and several South Dakota agencies joined forces to help all of us prepare for dangerous roads this winter. Our Brian Savage shares what you need to know to keep your loved ones safe.
For the last couple years, especially last year, winters in South Dakota have been more mild than usual, yet that streak may be coming to an end. Warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service, Aaron Woodward, says they are predicting the La Nina weather pattern to break down and transition into a neutral cycle by December.
That neutral cycle kind of getting really into full effect in that January-February timeframe. That could open the door for us to have more of those more significant, impactful, heavy snowstorms to move through the Black Hills area.
To help people prepare their traveling plans for the upcoming winter, Thursday, South Dakota Department of Transportation, along with State Highway Patrol and NWS, held a webinar.
Have that travel kit in your car if you're making long distance treks. Have a blanket, have extra jackets, have some traction.
During the webinar, the South Dakota DOT's Director of Operations, Craig Smith, shared the department's winter highway maintenance plan. He reminded the public they don't run 24-hour operations with their snowplows due to being a rural state, but DOT does run 24-hour services around the Rapid City and Sioux Falls areas.
In some situations like that, you will find those extended hours, but typically expect our plow trucks to be out there during those normal daylight hours, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Smith says the snowplows have been using blue lights for the last 4 to 5 years, making it easier and safer for motorists when identifying and driving near them during wintry conditions. Anyone interested in checking road conditions, alerts, and travel incidents throughout the state can visit KOTATV.com. In Rapid City, Brian Savage, KOTA Territory News.
Well, are we expecting any wintry weather anytime soon? Chief Meteorologist David Stradling is here to let us know. David?
Yeah, we are going to be looking at wintry weather later on, but not anytime soon, as we're still going to be staying quite mild going over the next handful of days. It's still a beautiful evening in Rapid City as temperatures are dropping. We're looking downtown on Main Street. Here's what we're looking at. Some Christmas lights. They're lit up. Some of those trees as well. Streets are packing with those parking spots filling up. We have 40s and 50s on the map at the moment. 50 out at the airport, 52 for Custer and Phillip. Those are the high temperatures for today. Currently in the 30s towards northeast Wyoming, parts of northwest South Dakota, but still 45 out at the Rapid City Airport. Overnight tonight down to 33 with patchy fog as temperatures are close to freezing. Winds will be pretty light, 5 miles per hour or less. For tomorrow, we'll have highs up into the upper 50s. Morning fog will give way to a mostly sunny sky, and it gets a little bit warmer for the weekend too. I'll have those details for you later on.
Thanks, David. A Rapid City man who sold meth throughout our area while leading authorities on multiple high-speed chases will be spending decades behind bars. Dimitri E. Coffey was just sentenced to 24 years in federal prison. The 31-year-old began buying pounds of meth last year and then selling it throughout Rapid City and Pine Ridge. Following sentencing, U.S. Attorney Ron Parsons said, quote, "Citizens in western South Dakota will be protected from this dangerous individual for the next quarter century." Parsons also announced a Box Elder woman was sentenced to 30 years in prison for her role in a multi-state meth ring. Jenna Holzer worked with others to have meth shipped from California to be sold throughout our communities. The 41-year-old helped distribute more than 100 pounds of meth beginning in 2022 before getting caught in a traffic stop. And Senator Mike Rounds is welcoming the Trump administration's investigation into major meat packing companies. KOTA Territory's Blake Trolley spoke with the senator who's calling for action.
President Trump has directed the Department of Justice to investigate the country's largest meatpacking companies for possible collusion, price fixing, and price manipulation. The White House pointing out in a press release that the big four meatpackers, JBS, Cargill, Tyson Foods, and National Beef, currently dominate 85% of the U.S. beef processing market, up from just 36% in 1980. The White House alleges in that same press release mounting evidence that the companies have slashed payments to ranchers, reduced herd sizes, and have driven up consumer prices. Senator Mike Rounds took to social media, writing in part, "For years I've been calling for the DOJ to investigate the four large meatpacking companies."
To have the president step in now and to say he wants to have a really good investigation done is music to our ears.
Rounds says he pointed out to President Trump that the high prices of beef should not be blamed on ranchers.
There's a whole lot of people in the middle of it, including these middlemen, these processors, who are really making the profits on this, and simply not fair to blame the farmer. The president has agreed with that.
Rounds tells KOTA Territory News he believes there are unfair trade practices occurring. He also raised concerns with the fact that the four major meat packers now control more than 80% of the beef processing market.
That's an oligopoly. We have to break it up. We have to find a way to get more meat packers into this and a lot of smaller meat packers. So I'm also looking forward to seeing what the president can do in terms of helping those small meat packers to grow and expand.
Earlier this year, Senator Rounds reintroduced legislation that would establish a special investigator's office within the USDA to crack down on potential anti-competitive practices in the meat and poultry industries. In Rapid City, Blake Trolley, KOTA Territory News.
President Donald Trump's bronze statue is finally heading to its permanent home in Rapid City. The City of President's latest edition will be placed at the corner of St. Joseph and 6th Streets this coming Tuesday. His statue was first unveiled in May and was kept at the Rapid City Visitor Center for the summer season. This marks a big first for the City of President's project. Trump will become the only commander-in-chief to have their statue presented while still in office. It was commissioned after his first term ended and completed before he was re-elected last year. And KOTA Territory News is looking to clear up some of the misinformation surrounding the cost of trash fees in Rapid City. We've been following this story since a public meeting in late October where we learned about plans to raise them. According to a resolution dated November 3rd, the city plans to increase collection rates by approximately 18 to 19% starting next year. That increase will jump another 12% from 2027 to 2028. The city says that money will be used to cover the $11 million it costs to replace a containment cell that's meant to store waste at the landfill. Costs are also increasing to maintain garbage collection vehicles. Rapid City Council President Rod Pettigrew says he's listening to concerns that garbage collections are already higher than other cities.
And of course, that has sparked a lot of anxious calls, emails from citizens. They don't want these prices increased. There's a lot of misinformation out there that we're receiving.
For a full list of the rates proposed by Rapid City's Solid Waste Division, you can go to kotatv.com. And warmer weather is on the way, but it won't last forever. We'll have the latest in your accurate First Alert forecast coming up later. But first, your dollar might go a little farther than usual this Thanksgiving. Find out how first after the break. Families looking to fill their tables and stomachs with a full Thanksgiving spread this year will be saving some money. The cost of your favorite dishes has gone down since last year. KOTA Territory's Kennedy Lira shows us how much food you can get with a smaller bill.
As families put together their shopping lists, they may start stressing about how much everything is going to cost. But this year, the Farm Bureau has good news to share. The price of Thanksgiving staples has dropped 5%, allowing families to enjoy meals without worrying about breaking the bank. The Farm Bureau listed an informal survey for dinners able to feed 10 people, including turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, rolls, peas, cranberries, veggie trays, and pumpkin pie. Half of the ingredients listed have declined in price. The Farm Bureau says last November an average dinner cost a little more than $58, and this year it's down to around $55. And Walmart is joining the trend. You can get everything you need to feed 10 people for under $4 per person. That includes 10 to 16 pound Butterball frozen whole turkeys, 12-ounce fresh cranberries, 5-pound bags of fresh whole russet potatoes, great value brown gravy mix, and much more. To see everything Walmart is offering, visit our website at KOTATV.com. In Rapid City, Kennedy Lira, KOTA Territory News.
Well, nearly 31.8% of bankers are reporting the rural economy is in a recession, according to a November survey done by Creighton University's Heider College of Business. 58.3% of bankers participating in the survey expect farmland prices to drop next year. In addition, bank CEOs on average are expecting more than 18% of ranchers and farmers in their area to experience negative cash flow this year. According to the International Trade Association, regional exports of livestock and agriculture goods during the first 8 months this year dropped nearly 6% compared to the same time last year, despite the survey's findings. South Dakota ranchers and farmers may be celebrating. The study shows the state's profits in livestock and agricultural goods exports increased by more than 10% compared to last year. And Chief Meteorologist David Stradling says to enjoy the upcoming warmth, big changes are on the way. The details are in your accurate First Alert forecast next.
Now, the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist David Stradling.
We're keeping an eye on some fog potential overnight tonight that may impact your morning commute tomorrow. It's not going to be widespread through KOTA territory, but some spots will be noticing it. We'll be dropping down to about 33 in Rapid City. Some other spots actually falling into the 20s. So future visibility as we go into the evening hours, we'll be noticing it around midnight starting to develop, especially across northeast Wyoming. And then it'll develop a little bit more into western South Dakota as we go towards the morning hours on Friday. But as I mentioned, it's going to be patchy in spots, nothing widespread across KOTA territory. And then that fog is expected to dissipate. We'll have a lot of sunshine throughout the afternoon tomorrow, and it'll turn out to be a nice day. We got up to 48 today, almost 10 degrees warmer for the forecast high temperature tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful for us for our Friday, and it's only going to stay nice throughout the weekend. High temperatures will remain in the 50s to near 60 Saturday and Sunday. As I've mentioned before, a great time to get out and decorate for Christmas. You don't have to turn the lights on or anything like that until you want to, but I'd rather be decorating in 50 to 60 degree weather compared to those temperatures that may be down into the 20s, and you need some gloves and maybe a little frustrating to try to get those lights untangled with some mittens on. As we look at our forecast high temperatures on Monday, we'll start to notice some changes, especially farther to the west as cooler air will be making its way in. However, it will remain mild for many spots. By Thanksgiving, it will cool off. We'll be 33 degrees for a high temperature, so expect some much cooler air starting Tuesday next week, where it will be windy. Winds will diminish a bit, and then it'll stay cold through the rest of next week. Now, something we're keeping an eye on is that weekend after Thanksgiving, there is the potential, data still kind of suggesting the chance for some wintry weather to move in. Now, I don't really like talking about these things so far in advance, but because the Thanksgiving holiday is such a highly traveled holiday, it's something to bring up and kind of put in your mind. So you want to keep checking back for the latest, as if you've been here long enough in KOTA territory, you know a lot can change being so far out. So we'll continue to first alert you to the latest information that you need to know as we get that data in every single day between the morning and evenings, and we'll keep you posted with the latest. But for tonight, we do have that fog, so that's going to be a more immediate impact for some of those, especially towards northeast Wyoming. Lows will be in the 20s and 30s. High temperatures tomorrow warming up nicely. We have a lot of 50s on the map. It'll be mostly sunny once that morning fog goes away, with a southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Over the next 3 days in northeast Wyoming, you're talking picture perfect weather. Plenty of sunshine, highs in the 50s for many, 49 on Saturday for Sundance, but still a wonderful day. Across the Black Hills region, it'll be warmest off towards the Sunday time frame for Spearfish and Hot Springs, near 60 both days this weekend in Hot Springs with all that sunshine. And then for the South Dakota Plains, we have temperatures in the 50s for the majority of us, even a few 60s for Phillip and Pine Ridge by the time we get to Sunday. And over the next 7 days, you'll notice those warmer temperatures. As I mentioned, Monday, that's the final warm day we have in the forecast. A cold front moves through Monday night that could bring some rain or snow showers, maybe a few morning flurries towards the northern hills Tuesday morning. It will be windy with a high of only 37, falling down to 34 on Wednesday. And for Thanksgiving, we're still tracking some 30s, and we're, like I mentioned, tracking some colder air and potential moisture for that weekend after Thanksgiving. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on that as we get closer.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful weekend, but it's going to feel almost like Christmas by Thanksgiving.
I know, yeah. Once we get to Thanksgiving, the switch is going to flip, and then we're going to be in the holiday spirit.
That indeed. Well, thanks, David. Coming up, top high school volleyball teams hit the court for the opening round of the state tournament. Bennett County tried to pick a big win against Parkston. Vic Quick has all your exciting highlights next in KOTA Sports.
And now, KOTA Territory Sports, sponsored by your local Ford stores.
Happy dinner time, everybody. Last March, the Bennett County girls basketball team won the Class B state championship. Now, many of the same athletes are looking to turn the same trick on the volleyball court. The Warriors are the 5th seed for the Class B state tournament, and this afternoon they took the court over at the Monument against 4th-seeded Parkston. All 3 classes of the state volleyball tournament are being played at the Monument's Summit Arena. Parkston serving in Bennett County's Reagan O'Neill gets set up perfectly for the dangerous kill. Look out there, point for the Warriors. The Trojans have some fight in them, though, as they get a point here from Kiera Oakley as she slams it down for the kill. Bennett County answers back with a point of their own. Reagan O'Neill again with the wicked kill. Reagan led the way with 21 kills today. Her sister Payson had 19 kills. The Warriors move into the semis with a big 3-1 victory. Big win for Bennett County. To Class A, where Hamlin is squared off against Clark Willow Lake. Clark Willow Lake serving, and Hamlin sets up Adeline Jensen for the kill, so chalk up the point for Hamlin. Clark Willow Lake and Hamlin going back and forth on this point coming up. And Clark Willow Lake finally gets the kill. It's Shelby Begeman who slams it down. She led the Cyclones today with 14 big kills. Clark serving. Hamlin works to set the ball up for Jensen again, and she sends it over with the left hand. Jensen led the Chargers with 15 kills. 5th-seeded Hamlin moves into the semis with a 3-1 victory. Now, the Sioux Falls Lincoln volleyball team racked up a strong 19-5 record this season, en route to earning the number 4 seed for the AA state tournament. 5th-seeded Watertown checks in with a 21-9 mark, and this afternoon the Patriots and Arrows battled for a spot in the semifinals. Now, Watertown had to make one of the longest trips of all the teams to Rapid City for the state tournament. Arrows serving to Lincoln, and Lincoln going to get the point thanks to Camelia Langenfeld as she slams it down hard and fast. She had 13 kills. Watertown gets the very next point as Kerrigan Klatt is set up for the kill, and Lincoln unable to handle that. Klatt had 11 kills. Arrows with another point thanks to Anna Hertz, who records the nice kill. She led Watertown with 16 kills today. This match went the distance with the Arrows taking it 3-2. Now, in the other AA match this afternoon, a top-seeded Harrisburg knocked off Mitchell 3-0. So Harrisburg moves on to the semis. The top seed in Class A is Dakota Valley. The Panthers defeated Wagner today, also in 3 straight. So Dakota Valley on to the semis. Chester is your top seed in Class B. The Flyers advance with a 3-0 victory over Harriet Selby. With the win, Chester improves to 31-1 on the season. Now, the evening session has begun over at the Monument. Right now, Rapid City Christian is on the court to take on Del Rapids. Del Rapids won the first set, so the Comets looking to even that up. And later on tonight at the Monument, both St. Thomas More and Harding County will be in action representing our area. And I'll have more state volleyball scores and highlights for you coming up tonight at 9 and 10. One note on the Rush back at home tomorrow night, but the game that was scheduled for a week from Saturday on November 28th originally was going to be played at midnight. The Midnight Madness game, that start time has been moved to the more traditional time of 7:05. So Saturday the 28th, Rush playing at 7. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
Well, David, the weather today was beautiful. I really enjoyed it, but is that going to be sticking around?
Yeah, we actually have one more nice weekend coming up for Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures in the 50s to near 60. Tomorrow morning will be in the 30s for many, some 20s as well, but there will be some fog out there, mainly in northeast Wyoming, some parts of South Dakota too. But as I mentioned, that weekend, fantastic. Sunny and 60 for Sunday. A great weekend to get outside and enjoy this nice weather. We'll cling on to the mild weather on Monday, but much cooler air moves in as below normal temperatures settle in for Thanksgiving, and that could hang on for the first part of December as well.
We enjoyed lots of great weather, so I guess it's time for the cool to come in.
It's about time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here later tonight.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.